Hey everybody, Ash here with Gents with another fragrance review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a John Varvatos fragrance. It is this one, JVXNJ Crimson, and that stands for John Varvatos Nick Jonas. So this is a collaboration between Nick Jonas and John Varvatos. This is actually their second collaboration. The first one was just JVXNJ, which came in a blue bottle. A lot of people really disliked that one, said it was generic, that it was just a synthetic mess, that it was one of the absolute worst releases of last year. And today, we're gonna check this one out, which is technically a limited edition release. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. We're gonna check out the presentation of this fragrance. Then I'm gonna break this one down and let you know whether it's something that you should try to pick up or not. Let's do this. All right, let's go ahead and check out this presentation. First off the box, you can see here JVXNJ, John Varvatos Nick Jonas. Size and concentration down here at the bottom. There's nothing at the top, the sides, or the back. Then on the bottom, you have your ingredients and your badge code. And the badge code is actually printed below the barcode. Here we have the bottle. This is your typical Varvatos bottle shape design. It does have a really heavy glass, and this paint job that it has also kind of makes it have a thick feeling in your hand. It has a really nice gradient that goes from dark red down to black at the bottom, as you can see there. On top of the cap, you have JVXNJ. It doesn't click into place, but it does fit snugly enough. The cap itself looks like it's going to be really heavy metal. It does have a little bit of heft to it, but it's not really a heavy cap. It's kind of light, or at least lighter than you would think. Right there again, John Varvatos Nick Jonas. Atomizer on this is good, like all Varvatos fragrances. Then it has this leather charm that goes around the neck of the bottle here that has, again, the JVXNJ John Varvatos Nick Jonas. They really want to make sure that you understand that this is, in fact, a John Varvatos Nick Jonas collaboration. This thing I actually take off and set to the side of the bottle. It just gets in my way and kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. And then on the bottom you have your sticker with your badge code. And there we have it, the presentation for John Varvatos X Nick Jonas Crimson Edition. I really like Varvatos presentations in general. This one is no different. I think it looks really nice. I actually picked this up at a discount from FragranceNet. One day I was looking through their new releases and they had this listed. I knew it was a limited edition, so I went ahead and picked it up. And not long after I picked it up, it was gone from their website. So I guess they sold out. And as of this video, it's not on there anymore. Now that's not to say that it won't pop up again at FragranceNet or possibly Fragrance X or any of the other discounters out there. I mean, for all I know, it could pop up there tomorrow. I'm just letting you know, again, that this is technically a limited edition and it's not the easiest fragrance to find as far as designers go at discounters. But if you're interested in this one, do just keep your eyes open for that good deal. As of this video, when I'm shooting this, this is going for around $50 to $70 on eBay, depending on the size. It comes in a 75 ml size or 125. This is 125 mils. At retail, it goes for $74 for a 75 ml. $94 for 125. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I think it was in the $40 to $45 range. And apparently my eyes don't want me to do this video because now my contacts have suddenly really started bothering me. So blame that on the Varvatos here. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this fragrance. Hopefully I can make it through without my eyes falling out of my head. Maybe I should put on sunglasses or something like that. Let's go for that. Yeah, that's better. That'll work. Awesome. So this one opens up with rum, apple, and a little bit of carbonated coffee. That's how John Varvatos describes it. The fragrance does have a little bit of a fizzy feel at different times through the life of the fragrance. So you pick up this kind of like fuzziness to the scent. And I'm guessing that's what the carbonation is here. They're using that carbonation kind of wording to try to make this fragrance seem more lively. At least that's the way it's being pitched. It's being pitched as a very lively fragrance that kind of reminds you of New York City at nighttime. So that's what's going on with the carbonated coffee. The initial opening can come across a little bit like a a synthetic kind of jumble of notes. So if you're the kind of person that's really hardcore into natural fragrances, or you're really into niche fragrances, or if you don't like the trend of mass appealing scents that's been going on lately, you are probably not gonna like this one. That said, it does have a sweetness to it in the opening that is appealing. It smells nice, and there's a little bit of spiciness from saffron in the opening as well. That mixes with the aforementioned rum, coffee, apple combo that you get off the top. Now, this fragrance to me does not have a super strong coffee note. It's there, you can smell it, you can pick it up, but it's not really overly powerful. It's not something that I really remember from this one. I don't smell it and go, oh yeah, there's that wonderful coffee note. It's not really the star of the show to me. More than anything in the opening, it's about the rum and the apple to me. There's also a tart bergamot that's kind of buried underneath all those other notes, and that's what I was talking about just before, about how it can come across like a mess of notes because there's a lot kind of going on, different notes kind of jockeying for position there initially. Despite all that, and despite the fact that it does come across synthetic, which is something that I hate to use, but still, despite all that, it smells appealing. I mean, it doesn't smell bad. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that this is the worst thing I've ever smelled, because it's not. After about 10 minutes, this fragrance opens up a little bit, and at that point, you can start to pick out notes a little bit more clearly. One of the notes that comes across most clearly as it starts to head into the mid is lavender. It has a fresh lavender note that sits underneath those other notes that we talked about before, and that lends some freshness to this scent, which is a good thing because that freshness helps to counterbalance some of the sweetness that you pick up initially. And that balance helps make this a little bit more appropriate for older guys as well as younger guys. It kind of widens the age range that could use this one. As it dries into the mid and the dry down, you do still pick up little hits of that coffee now and again, but it's more like a bit player at that point. It helps provide a little bit more of an interesting facet to the fragrance, but again, like I said earlier, coffee to me, not really the main player here. And once you hit the dry down, which as I've said a number of times is the most important part of the fragrance, this one is forgettable to me. It settles into a semi-boozy amber suede and musk fragrance in the dry down. And also one of those interesting things they've done with notes in this one, the musk here is a salted musk. And if you do smell the fragrance closely and you kind of think about it, you could probably convince yourself like, yeah, there's a little bit of salt there, a little bit of a salted tinge. And the comparison has been made of this being similar to Polo Red or Polo Black. Now, maybe if you took little pieces of Polo Red, pieces of Polo Double Black, and probably like 50 other fragrances out there and threw it together, you would get something similar to the dry down here. Doesn't smell bad, it just smells kind of boring. Now, despite, in my opinion, the dry down being forgettable or boring, that doesn't mean it smells bad. I don't think it smells bad. Like, I don't smell this and say, oh, that's disgusting, what a terrible fragrance. If you're really into fragrances, if you have a big collection, then you will have probably smelled things similar to the dry down here. So it's not gonna really reach out and grab you. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever. Toss away that scent, who cares? But if you're just a normal person looking for something that other people are going to find enjoyable, that you can get potential compliments on, then this would work for you. It just depends on where you fall there. If you're a big collector, if you really like the niche side of things, the more unique side of things, I don't think you're gonna like this. This one is geared more toward nighttime wear. I mean, it's in the description of the fragrance, how it's supposed to convey the feeling of New York City at nighttime. So this one is kind of being marketed that way, as a nighttime casual or potentially date night type of fragrance. I do think you could wear it during the day as well though. For me, it's more of a spring and fall fragrance, and if I picked one from those two seasons, it would lean more toward fall than anything else. It does have a bit of that sweetness and warmth from the amber, from the saffron, from the bits of coffee and rum that you get. So it's gonna be more of a cool weather type scent, at least in my opinion. You could also wear it during the winter, but the performance on this is not that great. So if you're looking for a good performer for winter wear, this probably won't work for you. But if you don't mind the performance, then yeah, I would say winter, spring, fall. Now to touch a little bit more on that performance, for me, this lasts about 5 hours off my skin. Projection best in the first 45 minutes. It was actually pretty good in that first 45 minutes. Then it sits a lot softer to the skin. But that could potentially be a good thing if you're wearing a fragrance out on a date. Sometimes you want to wear fragrances that are a little softer, a little more alluring, a little more sensual. So in circumstances like that, this could work for you. I would say though, at the current prices, it's not worth it at all, like, period. On eBay, I wouldn't pay $50, don't pay retail. There are better fragrances out there for date nights, there are better fragrances out there for casual wear. There are just better fragrances out there that you can get for a lot less than this one. All right guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this fragrance, if you've smelled it, if you own it, if you're wanting to own it, if you hate it, if you love it, whatever. And again, just thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.